If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're going through a challenging time right now. Maybe you even feel overwhelmed. I just want to give you some encouragement. And I'm going to share with you some insights that are going to help you through this difficult season and show you that there's so much potential, so much power, and that your pain has a purpose to it. And I want to show you what that purpose is. If you and I have not met yet, my name is Troy, and my goal is to help you in your life. Now, when we're going through these struggling situations in life, what's actually taking place? And a lot of times what's taking place is you have a desire. You want something different. You want a certain situation. You're ready for the change. And there's this conflict almost taking place. It's like you have this deep soul that's connected to the universe. The universe is always expanding. I've talked about this before. It's kind of like nature, right? Nature is always growing. And that's what it wants to do. It reproduces, it grows, it stretches, it expands. And your soul wants to do the same. But we have this ego. We have this meat suit that we wear, and oftentimes it kind of gets in the way. It blockades us. But how does it get in your way? It gets in your way through control. And so what happens is you have this desire, and then what takes place next is your brain wants to take over. It's like, I got this. I know what to do. And think of this as a grabbing, as a squeezing, as a tightening. And anytime you're taking control, now there's a nuanced point, right? You want to believe that you have a lot of control. But it's not in control like you may think it is. It's not in control like I'm at point A and I'm going to point Z and I'm going to control every aspect of this journey. It's not quite like that. It's more that you have control over your process and the way that you show up, your mindset every day. And so think about, you've set this intention, you have this desire that's taken place. But what needs to take place next? It's actually more of a surrendering process. It's a letting go process. It's allowing. It's a loosening process. It's the only way you can actually allow God or the universe to work with you is to allow us to let go. And so if you feel that pain, you feel that heaviness, that frustration, it's because your brain, your mind, parts of you are trying to step in the way and take control. And that's where your obsession takes place. And you're looping over and over in your mind. I'm here and I want to be there. This isn't happy. I'm not happy because of this. And I don't have these things. Control, control, control. Contraction, contraction, contraction. It's very tightening energy. Rather, what I want you to do is you have your desire. It's almost like it's been set. You've said it, right? You've voiced your opinion. It's like if I'm talking to someone, I'd say, hey, I'd really like to go to the movies Friday night with you. I've said it, right? And then what can I do? I can get ready for that. I can look up how much the tickets are. I can, get my hair cut. I can make sure my car is cleaned, whatever. Those are the things that I can control. Anything beyond that is actually outside of my control. How they show up or decide to receive that request depends. Because what if God, what if the universe, it's kind of like maybe this person I asked to go to the movies on Friday night, but they say, hey, I have a better idea. Why don't we go to this show? I've got tickets to this event. Well, then I might have squeezed the life out of going to the movies. But man, that show is going to be way cooler, right? Or maybe something comes up and they say, hey, not this weekend, but next weekend I can go. And so what you're doing by getting in the way, you're getting in your own way by trying to control everything is just that. You're getting in your own way. It's a squeezing, a suffocating process. And it's suffocating your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. And it lowers your energy. And I want to talk about energy just for a second. When you have that distant forecasted outcome or desire, and you're still here working towards it, that's, again, all you really can do is the process of it, the creation of it. But you can't hold on to the end result. By doing that, you lower your energy because you create frustration. And you're kind of showing yourself like, I'm not there, I'm not ready. You know, the example I use a lot is like Tom Brady, right? 7 Super Bowls, I think is what he won. You can control the preparation, being ready. You may not know when that opportunity is going to present itself. So if it's at work, like I would ask you, are you still doing things to grow and expand who you are? Are you reading books? Maybe you want to get into a different section. Maybe you want to start doing sales for your company and they haven't asked you yet, but are you ready for it? Are you that person yet? So what can you control in that situation? Well, yeah, maybe you can bring it up to a couple people. That's you casting the desire, but then you can study, you can work for people, you can learn from people. And it's almost like what happens is this part of you, these internal parts grow so much. If you think of it almost as energy, you've raised this energetic level and it resonates in a new space. And when it resonates at a new space, that's when the opportunity presents itself. Like I was actually talking with a friend the other day, like I believe, and I'm always in the frame, like everything is a practice for the big game. It's always a practice. They're always throwaways, right? Like I did 2 events last week where I got to speak at, And they're just preparation. They're just preparation. They're always just throwaways. Very grateful for it. I put my best in those situations, but they're all just throwaways. So what are you preparing for right now? What are you getting ready for? What are you trying to step into? What's the next level of you? Whatever it is, don't compare. You don't need to be competitive, right? This is your journey, what's unique to you. But what are you preparing for? What are you stepping into next? What's the next version of you? We have to continue to allow the evolution of ourselves. There's something inside you that's being called forward, and you can feel it. You're aware of it, but you're suffocating it. And you're suffocating as you getting in your own way. Why isn't this happening? It's like going to a small plant that's just breaking the ground and you're yelling at it. Why aren't you bigger? Why aren't you growing yet? Why aren't you producing fruit? Why? You're doing that with your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. Let the thing grow. You nurture it. So nurture your goal. Are you nurturing your goals? Are you surrounding yourself with certain types of people that think, that talk, that behave, that believe in a certain kind of way? Are you stretching? Are you investing in yourself? I know for my life, like there was a large part of my life, or at least a portion, where I ran away from my calling. It was like I knew the things I was supposed to be doing. I've always felt called to help people, to inspire them, to connect with them. My original journey in fitness. And after that season kind of transitioned, there was like a shakeup, and I avoided what was next until finally I couldn't avoid it anymore. And what took place was the pain of avoiding it became unbearable to the pain that it would take to go towards it. Because going towards your goal, your dreams, your ambition it's not going to be easy, but you have to stop thinking it's going to be easy. You have to stop thinking like that's what life's supposed to be. In a way, nuanced point again, right? In a way, it will feel easy because you get better at things, right? Your skill level increases. I shared this example before. I remember the first time I went and got a business license. It was like the biggest thing in the world. Like, oh my God, how did I get a business license? It was like stressful. And now that wouldn't even be a second thought if I started a business. Like that'd be like almost automatic, right? Like other things would be something I would be thinking about. So in a way, it does get easier, but it's because you're moving to different levels. Again, it's like this universal, this spiritual video game that you're playing. You're unlocking levels, but each level requires new skills, new tools, new resources. But I just want to make sure that you're not suffocating your goal and that you're answering the call. And along the way, answering the call to step into your greatness is going to be challenging. In fact, it's probably going to take more effort, more energy, more resources, more money, more time than you've ever imagined it could take. But it's always going to be worth it. It's always going to be worth it. You'll look back on those moments and be so grateful you stepped to that challenge, you stepped to that call. So what call are you not answering right now? What version of you are you avoiding growing into? Because again, that's what your soul desires. And so if you feel a density, a heaviness, what are you avoiding right now? What are you not stepping into? And if your goal, your dream, your ambition seems far away, you feel like you are answering the call, you are trying to step into that greatness, you got to let it go. You've already cast your ambition, your desire, your dream to the universe, to God. God is aware of it. God hears. He knows. Now just follow through with your faith. I don't even mean this from a religious standpoint, but like the Bible talks about faith all the time. And, ye of little faith, these moments, and how even with like a faith as small as a mustard seed, I think it is, like you can move mountains. And so really for me, when I look at my life, like there's most of the time, to be honest, I'm just honest with you, that I lack faith, that I struggle and I want to take over. I want to squeeze. I want to grab the steering wheel and take control. It's very natural, but what part of me is doing that? It's the scared parts, the smaller parts, the ego parts. And when I can just cast my vote per se, right? My desire, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to create. I can hold that vision. And then remove this whole energy of squeezing, of controlling, and step back into allowing, just letting go. Then beauty can take place. And also, then I have energy to focus on the process. I can work on my skills, the tools that it's going to take. Like life demands those things of you. And I believe if you don't step into those challenges, oftentimes they'll be presented to you. And I'd rather create my own in a way, right? Because you can step through those. It shapes, it sharpens. That's the journey of life. Again, I encourage you not to look at life so linear. point A to point B. It's more vertical. As you travel through life, as you're going through this journey, what's being called is this growth, this vertical ascension of who you are, learning things about yourself. Just the other day, I was thinking how powerful acceptance, gratitude, and forgiveness are. It's easy to say those things, acceptance, gratitude, forgiveness, but much harder to embody them, to actually live it. And what does that mean? What does that look like? There's an energy to that. And so really feeling inward, remember the door to success opens inward, not outward. And so you're going into yourself. What parts of me need to evolve? So if you're not answering the call to your greatness, what part of you is avoiding that? Maybe it's courage. Maybe there's fear. Go deeper. What about fear? Where's that shown up? Like, I fully believe if you haven't suffered losses at this point in your life, if you haven't lost large amounts of money, if you haven't had failures, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're playing so fucking small, so fucking safe. What's being created? Lethargy, boredom, depression, low vibration energy. Step up, step into the game. Allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to evolve. And again, quit asking for it to be easy, because it won't be easy. That's the point. Whoever said it was supposed to be easy? It'll get easier again because your skill levels improve. You get better at things over time. But it ain't supposed to be easy. Answer the call, step into your greatness, move forward. You'll figure it out. You'll move, you'll grow. And before you know it, a new version of you is presented to the world. You awaken parts of you never knew existed before. It's cutting the wheat from the shaft, right? It's a metaphor. Like, to actually get the wheat, you have to strip away. It's the same thing with your growth. There's certain parts of you that need to be stripped away. Maybe it's that laziness that needs to be stripped away. Maybe it's that little voice inside your head that says, you can't do this. That's not you. That's for them. They're different than you. If one man can do it, or one woman can do it, another man or another woman can do it. Then you can do it. You change your inner dialogue, your inner belief. Every day, maybe you have to step up and show up differently. Maybe you got to wake up and just do some push-ups just to get going, get the energy flowing, get your mind right every day. You are creating yourself. And so I believe one of the biggest flaws that's taking place during your journey is you're looking at other people like they're different than you. Like they were just born that way. Sure, people have certain talents, certain gifts. So do you. But if you really want something, if you want to find your greatness, you have to step into it. You have to allow yourself to approach it like a professional. I heard a conversation with someone recently, and they were talking about how, they approached the game like they were destined to be great. And I would ask you, are you approaching anything in your life like you're destined to be great at it? Maybe it's being a mom. Maybe it's being a father. Maybe it's being a friend. Maybe it's just being the most positive person in the room. Like, why the fuck not? Like, walk into a room and bring some energy with it. Like, what are you doing? You can control that. That is something you can do. Work on your energy. Nurture, foster your energy. Be aware of the situations you're in, the things you allow into your life. Maybe you take a little more control there. That's something you can control. And you let go of the outcomes. You set your intention. You have a desire, a destination that you're aiming for. But you can only control what you can control. You loosen, you allow, you let go. So my friend, it's your time to step into your greatness. You've cast your desire. Let go of the grip. It'll take place in its time, in its season. And work on the process. Control what you can control. And if you haven't answered the call yet to step into your greatness, it's time to pick up the phone. Because greatness is always a choice. I love you. Until next time. Peace.